gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Live from Columbus, Ohio, it's Motown Downtown!
Motown Downtown, come on down to Motown Downtown.
Today's guest, Super Spaghetti Bros.
Come on down to Motown Downtown.
My name is Tyson Bruno, and here's your host, Mo Chocolate.
Come on down to Motown Downtown.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Motown Downtown, where we are here to make sure that you have a wonderful time and the greatest time. That's right, that's right. So, before we get things started real quick, I just want to say that next week is Thanksgiving, so we're taking a 1 week break off next week, but after that, we'll be right back into the swing of things. Hell yeah, hell yeah. So, with that being said, let's welcome today's guest, shall we? Drum roll, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not one but two guests today. A dynamic duo who holds the title for the longest running Kingdom Hearts podcast on the World Wide Web. And now they are award-winning content creators. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, please put your hands together for the one and only Jay and Michael, the Spaghetti Bros!
What an intro. Thank you, Matt.
What's up?
Hello, everybody out there in Motown Downtown land. How's it going?
It is an honor for me to have you both on the show. Seriously, thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and coming here to Motown Downtown. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No, the pleasure is all ours, man. We love coming on talk shows where we don't have to do all the work, so we appreciate you having us on, man.
Anytime. So before we get things started, can we please do my audience and me and the whole internet a favor? Can I get a yeah, please?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's why y'all came here, right? Nice. So yeah, before we get started, for anyone watching that has no idea who you are, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
We are the Super Spaghetti Bros. We are brothers. We don't kiss.
No.
People ask us that a lot.
I don't know
But we play video games on Twitch, and we have a Kingdom Hearts podcast, the longest running Kingdom Hearts podcast, and Million Dreams award-winning podcast, The Ansem Report.
By the way.
Which we do bi-weekly to talk about Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, no, that's basically us. And we do a lot of different things, but mostly that.
All right,
Yes,
all
sir.
right, nice. So now my first question is, how did you both get into video games? Like, what were you Team Nintendo, Team Sega, Team PlayStation? Which one?
Jay,
Oh.
you go first.
I mean, it's just been there ever since I was born, you know? Like, some of my earliest memories are playing, like, Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time, and that's how I literally learned to read, was Ocarina of Time, because I
Nice.
would just be super annoying, asking Mike over and over, what does that say? What does that say? And so, like, I just learned to read through asking what it said over and over and over. And, like, memorizing it, basically. It was pretty funny, but there's, like,
Yeah,
a video that we have where I'm playing Mario 64, and I'm, like, 2 years old, 3 years old.
Aw.
Yeah. Most kids learn by reading books. Jason learned by playing video games with me.
Yeah.
There's a bit of an age gap between us. I'm about 11 years older than him.
Yeah.
So, you know, he grew up playing video games with me, stuff I was playing, and one of those games is definitely Kingdom Hearts, which is why we, you know, both have love for it now. But I started playing NES with my sisters back in the day, and then Super Nintendo. I remember when I got a Super Nintendo for Christmas with Super Mario World, and it was off. And I don't know that I call myself a Nintendo or Xbox or PlayStation gamer. I play whatever sounds fun.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, we started with Nintendo for sure because that was really the only option. But Super Mario World, goated game.
Hell yeah. So we're gonna get along just fine. Yes, we are. So next question is, do you both necessarily have a favorite game and or console?
Ooh.
My favorite game of all time, and this is like tough, but I always default to Chrono Cross.
Nice.
I really love Chrono Cross. It's the first like real JRPG I got into. Frank, I'm not gonna say FF10, even though that's a good answer too. But Chrono Cross is that's my jam. But I my favorite console, probably my Xbox 360 back in the day.
Nice.
Bro
that
stole
thing
my
did a
answer,
lot of
bro.
heavy
You
lifting.
stole my answer, dude.
Did I mean the Nintendo Switch or something. There you go. Now you can use it.
Yeah. No, my favorite game, probably just due to sheer amount of hours, and it changes all the time. But this one's for Frank in the chat. Skyrim. It's just a goated game. Like, it's god tier, and yeah, probably Xbox 360. It's probably my favorite console of all time. Just so many good memories, bangers. You know, I felt like that was the first console where I got it for myself, and it was like, where I was like my own person at that point, and so. Yeah, I had a ton of fun with the 360.
That's amazing. Now, my next question is, how exactly did you both what made you decide to go down the content creator route? Tell us the origin behind the Ansem Report podcast. Like, what was the deciding factor for that path?
So, I've told this story before, but the game you have to thank for the Ansem Report podcast is not, in fact, Kingdom Hearts, but it's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because
It's so funny that it's like pretty
it's pretty relevant right now. But,
irrelevant right now.
so
Yes.
basically, one of my friends, Alan, shout out to Alan, said to me, "Hey, you have to see this really spooky game with the animatronics, right?" And he happened to pull up a Markiplier video. Oh, because that's obvious. He's the
like
Five Nights at
an
Freddy's
OG
guy.
Markiplier video. Yeah.
Like when the game had first come out, and I was always the guy that was like, why would I watch people play video games on YouTube or and I was just absolutely taken by that. I was like, man, that's so cool. Like, and I went and I bought a PC secondhand from this guy at work, and I started making YouTube videos. And Jason was a pretty young teenager at the time, but he was like, I want to do this with you. So we would play games together, and then
I think I was like 16 or 17 when we first started.
And so eventually, we started playing Kingdom Hearts because that's a game series that him and I really bond over and really love. And I was behind. I was I hadn't played anything since KH2. I hadn't played BBS or Dream Drop Distance, and 3 wasn't out yet. And when we started playing that, we realized those were the videos that were really doing well on our YouTube channel. And we had our buddy Addison roped in at the time, and I said, let's just start doing a podcast where we talk about Kingdom Hearts. And Jason came up with the name The Ansem Report, and I said, that's so funny, let's do this. Not knowing that it would grow into the thing that it is now. And we don't really do like Let's Plays anymore. We've definitely transitioned to Twitch and all that, but we have Five Nights at Freddy's and Markiplier to thank for the Ansem
Amazing.
podcast.
I would have never thought about that. That is quite the plot twist. Seriously.
Yeah, some would say I'm Fazbear pilled. That's not for me to judge.
I can see that. Yeah. So my next question is, so you decide to start doing this podcast, this award-winning podcast. By the way, we'll get to that. Don't worry, we'll get to that.
Longest
But-
running, by the way.
Yeah. The Spaghetti Bros. Tell us the origin behind that username because everyone has a unique like story behind their online nickname. So what's the origins of the Spaghetti Bros?
This is the dumbest story.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
So, I'm named after my father, Michael. And so I was Little Mike. I'm not a junior. We have different names, like middle names. So I'm not a junior. But when I went to school, preschool, first day, we were late because my mom was a bit of a mess as a person. And she brought me there, and there were already 3 Mikes in the class. Mike was a pretty popular name in my generation. And there was already a Mike B. My last name starts with B. And so the teacher was like, hey, do you have any nicknames that you call him? And my mom just looks at her and says, yeah, we call him Spike.
Okay.
Not true.
I'd never heard it
Not
in his
true.
life.
I'd never heard that in my
Never
life.
heard that in his
But
life.
literally throughout my whole schooling career, everybody called me Spike. That's just what happened. And so again, this is very convoluted and stupid. When I went to make it like an Xbox gamer tag back in the day, I remembered this moment in like middle school lunch where everybody was changing their name to like food puns.
Yeah.
And there was like mozzarella, and I was Spaghetti. I was like, that's funny. And so I couldn't think of a gamer tag, so I said I'll be Spaghetti. And then this is so dumb. So then
this is where it gets dumb.
This is where it gets really dumb. So Jason and I started deciding, because at first I started off on my own, like similar, and my YouTube channel was just called Spaghetti, kind of like Markiplier. It's like one word,
Just
one
one name.
one word.
Yeah.
And Jason was like, well, he was gonna do his own channel originally, and then he said, hey, I don't really like doing this by myself. I'd rather when we do it together. So I was like, well, we need a name, and we talked forever about names, and we're really bad at this. We've only had one good name in the history of our content creation, and it's the Ansem Report. Everything else has been terrible. And I said, well, what if we were the Super Spaghetti Bros? It's like a Super Mario Bros. But you're JK Spaghetti, and I'm Spaghetti, like in the old crappy Mario movie where he was Mario and Luigi Mario. And we just didn't think of anything better, and that's what we stuck with.
Also, it was kind of like, let's just have this at least for now. If we want to change it later,
we're gonna change it.
We'll change it, and then
we never did.
It's too late, bro.
It's too late. It's our branding now.
So that's the origin. You see, you guys are just full of like amazing stories now. Because I'm thinking, okay, they came up with this name. Nope, it was for this reason. Okay, how about this name? Nope, it's for this reason. I'm just like, I love that plot twist. I love it. Yes.
Yeah, it's very in order to have a name that stupid, you better have a pretty good story behind it, right? And so
it's a story.
It's a story for sure.
So let's get back. I want to ask about your podcast because the longest running Kingdom Hearts podcast. How do you like? When was the first video you uploaded to YouTube? Like what, 2005 or something? Or like how old we are talking here?
No. So when I started doing YouTube stuff on my own, it was 2015. But the podcast itself, it was January 2018. That's when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, right?
Yeah.
Or 2019.
Like episode 0 would have been before it came out.
Right. It was a couple weeks before KH3 came out. Yeah, 20.
Because you went down to Florida.
Yes,
it's just
so 2019
happened
because Kingdom Hearts 3 will be 5 years old in January.
Yes.
So our podcast will be 5 years old in January. And so, one of the things when we started the podcast, one of the things that happened is Tara, my lovely girlfriend, shout out to Tara, she's in the chat. She was working at Disney World at the time, and I don't know if anybody remembers, but they had a demo kiosk they set up at Disney Springs to play Kingdom Hearts 3. And so I was going to visit her anyway, and I was like, hey babe, when I visit, can we
like
go
it
to
just so
Disney
happened he was down there.
Can we go to Disney Springs and play Kingdom Hearts 3? And she was like, yeah, and she's always been a good sport with everything that I ask her to do. And so we went and played through the demo a couple times one of the days, and that was one of the things that like let us be confident to start a podcast, because right when I came home, Jason Addison and I recorded the first episode, and I was able to talk about, I had played Kingdom Hearts 3 before it was out, so I was able to talk about that.
Awesome.
And that kind of gave us the confidence to like make a podcast and not just kind of be like guys that rambled about stuff, which we ended up being, but at the start we were legit for sure.
Okay. That's all. You had to play KH3 before it came out. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I mean,
2018 mode would be super jealous of you right now, for real.
yeah, it was cool.
It was
they had a cool
scuffed, bro.
setup for
It was scuffed. Like, I'd say our podcast was scuffed. Like I remember we literally had like one of those like cheap ass like circle tables, like foldable circle tables, right?
Yeah.
We set that shit up, and then we had like a Yeti in the middle, and there's like 3 of us around this one Yeti microphone, just like in a room.
Old school, old school. I love old
it
school. I
was-
mean, this is season 3. Season 1 is just like similar to what you said. You know, you start small and you just grow bigger and bigger. That's how it is.
Right. Yeah, you can't wait to have all the equipment, all your dream equipment, and everything in the right place. Otherwise, you'll never do it. You know.
Exactly.
True.
Amen to that. Yeah. So now, are there any, doing the podcast all these years, what are some of the crazy and funny stories you have throughout the years? Like some of your crazy, hate comments you get, or guest stories, just anything like wild or funny to share for the audience.
One of my, not my favorite, I say favorite sarcastically, but one thing that happens, because we've done over 200 episodes now.
Nice.
Is I'll say something in episode 12, right?
Literally like 5 years ago.
5 years ago, I said something, and someone will comment on the YouTube video. Someone will find it, and I'll say something that they did not like, and they'll comment on it, and they won't even tell me what I said, but they'll just go, "Wow, you were really wrong on this." And so, like, in order for me to respond to the comment, I have to go back and like listen to whatever part, and then I don't even know because I did. And so we get that a lot because Kingdom Hearts fans, as you know, are very opinionated people.
Oh yeah.
And so we get a lot of that. I'm trying to think of like a specific one like that. Most people have been really cool and nice to us. To be fair.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel pretty lucky with the amount of positivity to negativity ratio.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty lucky.
This isn't Kingdom Hearts related, but I do have a story. When the original Spider-Man for PS4 was coming out, Jason and I thought it would be a funny goof to play Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And just the whole video pretend it's the new Spider-Man.
Oh, I like that.
So we clickbaited in.
Yeah, we clickbaited it and
blatant.
everything, and we made
But it
this,
was like
30...
so clearly within the first 2 seconds, oh, it's
Yeah.
just a joke.
Yeah, and we played the whole video straight. We never let on that we didn't know it wasn't the new Spider-Man, and we were like, man, the graphics are a little worse than I thought they were gonna be. Like, just really,
Voiceover. Yeah.
like, really, like,
Why does
making it
everything
obvious
look
we knew.
like cardboard?
And there was this guy in the comments that was so mad. That was like, you're lying to everybody, and you're clickbaiting for views, and da 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 da. And it was just like this, like we had killed this guy's dog. He was so. I remember I got in this long like YouTube comment argument with him, just about. I was like, man, it's a joke. It's clearly a joke. I don't know
Yeah.
why you don't understand it's a joke. And that video still gets views every once in a while, and people are like, this is hilarious. But that one guy was like, this is the worst thing. I've
There's
ever
always
seen.
that one guy, right?
It ruined his
always,
day, bro.
Kinda
always that one guy on the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Biggest Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I almost thought about running that one back, like doing like a different Spider-Man game and pretending it's Spider-Man.
hell
2.
yeah, like friend,
Oh, yeah.
friend
We
or
missed the
foe
boat.
or something,
Yeah, like full on, but we didn't end up doing it. So
So, what I like most about y'all that really stands y'all apart from everybody is that you have this really catchy catchphrase, and yeah. So yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's the
I-
story behind yeah? How do you go from like something that Lil Jon says yeah to now your catchphrase?
So yeah is a pretty universal thing. I gotta be 100% honest about this. We stole that.
Oh, yeah.
And most jokes are stolen, right? Like that's just they're stolen and then
Nothing's
tweaked a little
original.
bit. And there is a pro wrestler who is very big right now by the name of LA Knight.
Okay.
And he is very over, which is a wrestling term, meaning the crowd really likes him and they cheer for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he says
Yeah.
yeah like that. He'll be like blah 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 blah, yeah, and then the whole crowd goes yeah, right? And we started. I had no plans to go to Reconnect saying that.
Yeah.
But
Mike and I just say it to each other because it's funny to us. Like,
I'm a big wrestling fan, and I'm so brain rotted by this guy because I really like him too that I was just kind of saying it naturally, and one of our mods who was there at Reconnect, Sean_AFK, shout out to Sean, started saying it back to me, and that's all the validation I needed to continue to say it. And then it just caught on with
just
everybody
took
in our
over.
community. And then there were people that were like not part of our community specifically, but of the greater Kingdom Hearts community that were yaying along. And at that point, I'm like, this isn't even a bit that I twisted and made like my own. I'm literally just saying yeah.
It's just.
And it made me think, man, this wrestler, he's great and everything, but if we can get it over like that, like, oh, what's he doing? You know what I mean? He's being a little lazy. He needs to come up with something a little better because that was easy to get over.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
it's too strong.
it's yeah, it's not an intentional thing that happened, but it was really cool to have it felt like people were supporting us through that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 So that was really cool, and it's
so
a bit
infectious.
embarrassing to
I
bring
love
up
it.
now. Yeah, it's infectious. And there's a reason people. I mean, you brought up Little
Yeah.
John. Famously, that's a thing that he's done, right? And
Yeah.
I think just saying yeah at the end of something is just like putting that like cap on your sentence, and it just makes people feel good. So like everybody does it, you know.
Now, I'm wondering, like, if it weren't for copyright reasons, would you open every podcast with Usher's "Yeah"?
Oh, that'd be a good one. That Usher's "Yeah" would be a good one. There's a song by Collective Soul, where like it plays. I don't remember the name of the song. Shine. The name's Shine. Where it's like dun do 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 do. Yeah, like that. That would be another good one. But yeah, we could throw some yas in there. I'm trying not to lean too hard on the yeah as a crutch though, because it's like I literally just stolen bit like literally didn't change anything about it.
It's some stolen valor.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
wouldn't say
I'm trying
stoling, more or less borrowing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the first to admit that we did not come up with that. So like, shout outs to LA Knight, dude. I hope.
Shout out
Yeah.
to LA Knight for the paving the way for yeah.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
next question is, so you have this podcast now that's been doing very well, is running all these years. When are you both going to add that chocolate flavor to your podcast, huh? When can we expect Mo Chocolate to go on the Anthem Report? When?
So we definitely would love to have you on the podcast.
Yeah.
We're in a bit of a weird rut right now because my job's gotten a lot more intense, my real life job. And so we just want to make sure that we haven't had any guests on for a while because we just want to make sure that we're not going to
Yeah.
stand anybody up or do anything like that. But when we start
Yeah.
bringing guests back on, you are 100% on the list, my friend.
Yes, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Pretty soon. So, okay, so now I want to ask you, how did y'all transition to Twitch? How did y'all discover Twitch? You were like, hey, you know what? Why don't we do live streaming now instead? Like, what was that like for you both?
Jay, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so. When I got into Twitch, it's probably like my senior year of high school, and I was doing online school, and it was just like nowadays online school is probably more legit, but this is before COVID, so like this is like 2016, and it was just an absolute joke. Like I could just not do anything, so I was just watching Twitch streams like all the time because I'm just at home. I have all this time on my hands. I'd just be playing games, watching streams, and I was like, yo, like this is really cool. Like we should do this. Like we gotta figure out how we can do this, and so I looked into it a bunch, and we were able to set it up. And because we already had like capture cards, mics, cameras, and stuff from doing YouTube, it was really easy to just get right into. We didn't need to like go buy anything in order to do it, you know. And so Yeah, we started out. I can't remember what did we stream first. I wanted to say it was like Ocarina of Time, but I
Okay.
don't think that's correct.
I think we did FF10 very early on for sure, and
Yeah.
then we did some Ocarina of Time randomizers because we were into that at the
Yeah.
time. What we realized really quickly in switching to Twitch was that YouTube is kind of a slow burn. Like you put the video
Yeah.
out, and especially if your video's not like super successful views wise, you don't really get a lot of feedback necessarily. Where Twitch, it's like you're doing this, and there are when you have people there, once you get over that hump of having people in your Twitch stream and in the chat, it's instant like feedback and gratification and a lot more fun. We don't really do like we'll put our podcasts on YouTube, and every once in a while we'll make some kind of video, but we don't really do a ton of YouTube anymore. We do mostly just Twitch because it's
And if it is, it's not like gaming, like we're
Right.
not recording gaming and then uploading it separately.
yeah, we're not
like,
doing Let's Plays in that way, which is how we
Yeah, it's like
started.
maybe like skits or podcasts or something.
Right. So we just find that platform a lot more not just that platform, I guess live streaming in general. Like I'm not against live streaming on YouTube. We just haven't done it yet.
Okay.
'Cause we got into Twitch, and now that Twitch kind of changed those like guidelines as far as like when you can like dual stream, we might start doing YouTube because we do have an audience there that just doesn't do Twitch. Right?
Yeah.
It's really funny how like some people are just they're so YouTube and they're like I will not go to Twitch
Yeah.
to watch you, but if you were to stream on YouTube, they'll be there, right? And so that might be something we're gonna look into doing in the future for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just the comfort zone because on YouTube they know how everything works. They go to Twitch,
Right.
they're like, what are these pictures? What are these green and blue
Yeah.
things? Why can't I rewind the stream? You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're really lucky too because a lot of our OG homies, they went onto Twitch for us. 'Cause
Nice.
It's like, we have this podcast, and we say, hey, we're streaming on Twitch. Come check us out. Which we don't really do super often anymore, but like, when we were really starting to get into it, really having fun with it, like, yo, come check us out. And people who had never, like, they had to make an account in order to talk to us.
That
And so
is
we're
that
really,
is that is like the true
really
test of
blessed.
friendship right there.
Yeah.
Y'all are all
we're really
amazing.
blessed.
We have a really good community. We're very
Yeah.
blessed that
Super lucky.
so many people like us enough to spend time and I think Mrs. Guides called it the spaghetti orbit. We have a very strong orbit.
The
around
orbit,
us.
yeah. I agree, yeah. And that's actually my next question is, what do you think about your community that you grew from the ground up? What do you think about them? And do you have any shout-outs you would like to give?
Oh.
Oh boy.
We have and yeah, I kind of said all of it, but like we have some of the nicest, most incredible community in the world. Like
Yeah.
I would put our community, our small community of people up against anybody because they're just
Yep, they're S tier.
some of the coolest, nicest, supportive people. And they've really all become like friends. You know what I mean? Like there's Reconnect was it was a very big part of solidifying that. Because there were people that I've known for years that I'd never met in person before, and it was like going to meet an old friend, meet a bunch of old friends, and so I
Yeah.
think that's part of what made Reconnect so special. Jay, do you want to shout people out?
I mean, like, we were literally just listening to some old videos the other day, and like years old, and it's just so crazy, seeing the same people in the chat.
Yeah.
Like, it's like so many, like, they are still around, and it's just so cool. Shout out all our mods, some of them know how to ban bots, some of them don't,
I also want to
Shout out all
thank
the
your
homies.
community. I also want to thank them because I have a few new followers. Thank you to Dangus Catigola, Dangus and Jay
Dangus.
Jip
Con.
Jip 2014 and Sean's, I think it is.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Those are
Thank
the
you for the
homies, dude.
follow. Thank you for the follow, y'all. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you.
Those
So
are the homies,
we
dude.
roll,
Those are
when
real
we roll
ones.
through, we roll deep. That's for sure.
hell yes. Hell yeah. So on Twitch, when it comes to playing like streaming games, what is the one game that gave you the best streaming experience and the one game that gave you the absolute worst streaming experience? Go.
say like best streaming experience.
Yeah.
I have like a really soft spot for DDD.
All right.
Kingdom Hearts DDD, because we've done multiple charity streams playing that game, and those are just some of my fondest online memories. You know, raising money for a great cause, like having this one goal where you're like playing this one game for a long time, and everyone's there for the journey. Like can like see the progression of it along the way, and like we were losing our minds by the end of it, but I still like. It makes I want to go play it right now, thinking about it, even though it's like the context is completely different. So yeah, that's probably my favorite. Worst, I don't know, like maybe I don't know. I don't feel like we've ever streamed anything and been like that was awful. We're never doing that again. Like I can't think of anything.
Like anything that made you like rage or something, or want to throw your controller or something.
I don't know. I'm a bit of a rager all the time, so I don't know that there's
True.
there's not really like a specific. Maybe Recoded. I hate Recoded.
Yeah.
Recoded?
I'll never
Oh
do
yeah.
that again.
That
I'll never do that again.
that is. Oh boy, that game. I completely understand. Yeah.
I mental boomed when the rehash of the rehash happened.
I don't know that we've like had like a stream where we gone that was terrible because of the game. There are just games that like didn't work, and we like ended the stream and we go, yeah, we're probably not going to continue that. And Sean in the chat just brought up Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order. That's one. We just didn't vibe with the game, and that's okay. Like,
Arkham.
but
No one was there for Arkham, dude.
Yeah, no one. We had no one show up for Arkham City.
Especially not Jib.
Yeah, that was bad. But we've never had a game where I'm like, we can never play. That game sucked. We're never playing it again because we as brothers and friends, we try to. The game's not the important part for us. It's that we're having a good time.
Yeah.
With the people in the chat, and so we can have a good time with most games. I would say
It's more about like entertaining factor, and we're also. It's pretty OP having two people, you know.
Yeah.
Like
it's cheating.
For example, people really liking Theater Rhythm and
Melody of Memory.
Melody of Memory. If you're playing and you're trying to do combos and stuff, it's incredibly hard to read chat. But when there's two of you, it doesn't matter. Like I can just read it out loud, and then Mike, if he's playing, can know what was in chat, and he'll be able to react to it too, while playing in a natural way. So it's pretty clutch having two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so have y'all streamed like co-op games like It Takes Two or A Way Out or something, or Cuphead where it's two players?
We're too
We don't
dog
do that
shit
a
for
ton.
Cuphead.
Yeah, we're not good enough for Cuphead. We haven't done a ton of that actually, just because I think we're more comfortable when like one person can play and one person can focus on chat. I'm just holding this MDA, by the way.
Well, we will get to that too. We'll get to that too.
Subtle flex. Start scratching his back with it.
It was on my desk, and I'm a fidgeter, so that's why I had it. But no, we don't. We're not as comfortable doing co-op stuff because then we're both kind of try-hardy, where we're both like really focused on like playing the game, and then like neither of us are focused on chat or like what's going on. So we tend to play like single-player games where one person's playing and the other person's not, and we'll switch off and all that. But like that's typically how we do it.
All right. So outside of streaming and content creation, what do y'all do outside of that? What are your hobbies outside of gaming and content creation and streaming and stuff?
I love music. Music's a very important part of my life, and Tara and I and Jason go to a ton of concerts and music festivals, and that's really important to me. I'm also I like sports. I'm a sportsman. I'm not as big of a sportsman as I was in high school, but like I still like watching a football game, watching a basketball game, playing somewhat. Even though I'm getting older and my knees are getting real like rickety, and so
I feel that. I feel that.
It's tough for me to get on the field or on the court, but like I outside of video games, those are probably my two biggest things. I mean, I like most things. Like I'm not a very critical person. I'm like, oh, that movie was good, and then I go online and everybody's like, that movie sucked, and here's the 10 reasons why. And I'm like, oh, that movie sucked. Like so I'm that kind of guy. So I just like, and then also food. I'm a foodman. I like.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a foodie. I gotta have good food.
And
You know,
thanks to
that's-
that, according to Robo, you can fart on command.
See, that's a little misleading. I can't actually fart
He can.
on command.
He can.
I-
Don't let him lie.
That was just that clip was very fortuitous.
He
for
attacks me
because
with them sometimes.
He said, "Can you fart on command?" And I just happened to have to fart in that moment. I like it. It's more like I just have to fart all the time, not that I can fart on command.
He's just always flatulent.
I'm just really
yeah.
gassy.
And go
Uh,
figure, that's your highest viewed video, your highest viewed clip also.
Yeah, it is. I know. It's an incredible clip. Jay, what do you like to do outside of this?
I mean, I really just, play more video games,
Yeah,
I really
I
like-
like video games actually, but
Yeah, I just play more video games. Also really like going to the gym.
Nice.
I go to the gym like 6 days a week, and it's very fulfilling and satisfying. Also have been studying Japanese, and that's been very fulfilling as well.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Yeah. So that's been really, really fun. That's pretty much all I really do. Is
dang,
just
you didn't even respond
games,
in Japanese to him though.
gym.
Can you say a whole sentence in
I don't-
Japanese?
I don't actually know Japanese. It's all front. I just play more video games. I just been capping this whole time.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, so let's move on to a topic that we're all here very familiar with. Let's talk about Super Smash Brothers, shall we? Yeah,
Okay.
because I want to know, so when it comes to Smash Bros, both of you, who are your mains?
Which game? The
Of
new one?
the current one.
Ooh. I think I
Can
was
you
playing.
tell he's a melee guy?
I think I was playing. Yeah, true. I think I was like playing a lot of Ike at the time.
Nice.
Ike's the
Yeah.
homie.
Yeah, I'm a.
I liked him in Brawl too.
I'm a King K. Rool main.
Nice. A heavy.
Love
That's
King K.
awesome.
Rool.
Whenever he's one of the three people that whenever I see him, I get scared. For real. For me,
he's an asshole. And
he
that's
is.
why I like him.
He really is. Yeah. For me, I think it goes without saying that my main is Sora. Just saying, because
For sure,
it
for
still blows my mind that he is actually in the game. And that's actually my next question is, besides Sora, what were your favorite and least favorite Smash Bros. Reveal trailers?
Ooh.
I'm trying to remember them all.
I mean, besides Sora, right?
Yeah,
Like-
besides. That's go-to, yeah.
Yeah. Besides Sora. I remember the Sephiroth reveal was really cool. Even though
Hell yeah.
I'm kind of a FF7 hater.
He is.
But that reveal was just so cool because
It was.
it was a throwback to like the original reveal, where they're all getting bodied by
Yeah.
the light and turned into trophies or stone. I can't even really remember. But he cuts it in half in one swoop, and I was like, wait, is this like Odin? Like, is this like an Odin shout out? But then it's like, then there's Sephiroth flying there, his music
The
starts.
music,
That
yeah.
was so crazy.
That was
was
a
so
really good
crazy.
reveal. That's probably the best answer besides Sora. I will say, I liked the Steve reveal because it was absolutely ridiculous. And I remember I woke up to watch it live and like react to it on Twitch, and I was like, I can't believe I'm sitting here at like 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And they're gonna tell me it's Steve from Minecraft. Like that's so crazy. And then he gets like, he ends up like he buries him in the house and he's eating the you know what I mean? It was just so stupid. But yeah, I remember that one fondly because I reacted to it live. But yeah, I would say it's Sora, Sephiroth, and then Steve.
I also really love that Kazuya's in the game.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that. That's my below Sora is Sora, Sephiroth, and Banjo-Kazooie. Those three had me screaming the most. When I saw Banjo, my God, the nostalgia. But for me, sorry, Steve was my least favorite. It's like you said, I woke up at 9 a.m. I'm tired, barely awake, and I'm thinking, oh, Mario is in darkness. It's Sora, and then it's Minecraft. Like, I immediately turn off the game and I go back to sleep. Now, no disrespect. If you love Minecraft, cool. I don't like it at all. So, like,
Wow.
I don't. Sorry. It's
crazy.
just like I played it and I just did not like it. So it's like
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that it is the biggest game of all time, highest grossing game of all time, and that's cool. It's just not for me. So that's my
No,
least
fair enough.
favorite.
Fair enough.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But
I remember being
ever
like
heard anybody
so
say they don't like
wow.
Minecraft though. Mo, you're an enigma. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that.
there's a lot of things about me that's unique, and that is one of them. Yeah.
Keep being you, man. Don't let anybody change you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like going back to Sora, what was your reaction when you saw it was Sora? I mean, I'm not sure if you saw my reaction, but the chair flew, the shirt came off, I'm rolling on the floor, I wake up the entire neighborhood, like I went ballistic. 7 years of pent up hype just came out at that moment. But how was your reaction?
I don't know that we removed clothing, but we were live
Yeah.
on stream when we reacted.
I had to
We were pretty
change
hyped.
my clothes after, but yeah.
Well, what's funny is I used to speedrun Kingdom Hearts 3, and we had planned to watch that direct, and then I was gonna do a run, and we did, and I PB'd, and I have not been able to get even close to that time since, which is why I retired. But it was
Yeah.
the power of Sora's
power.
reveal that got me that really good time. So, thank you, Sora. But please let me do it again.
Yeah, no, that was such a good reveal. That was so awesome.
It
It still is a little unreal because it's like I haven't played a ton of Smash Bros recently because like my little sister basically owns my Switch. Like I got her into it and she plays it a ton, and so I'm kind of removed from Smash Bros in that way, but also
Well,
yeah, it's just so
part of it,
crazy that
too,
he's in it.
The biggest bummer with Smash for me is just how, like, it's almost unplayable online with people. Because
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's just such a bummer. Because, like,
it's so ridiculous.
these days you can't always have people, like, be over to play Smash. You know what I mean? And so, like, if the
Yeah.
internet, if the internet function worked better, it would be a lot more fun.
Yeah, it's just like, how do you have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that has like over 10 characters and it doesn't drop at all? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
yeah.
I've never seen since the Wii U version, I've never seen a lag, nothing. It's always silky smooth. But Smash Bros, ay ay ay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit tougher. Like, I'm not gonna pretend to be a game developer, but it's probably
Like
a little
frame
bit
data,
tougher.
yeah.
The frame data and the inputs and stuff, but still, like, there are other fighting games that do it much better, and Smash just refuses to get
Well,
better.
and they're like Smash Bros is like the biggest potentially. You
Yeah.
know, like
yeah,
so many people. I remember like when it came out, so many of my friends at work who weren't like huge gamers, like maybe they'd buy like Call of Duty or something here and there. Like everyone I knew was like buying a Switch for Smash.
right.
And then we go to play it online together, and it's like people are dropping out. Like, also just it's so obtuse. Like you have to get in a line for this ring, and then like if you want to change your character, you have to go out. There's just like everything about the online just makes me so mad. Like I I start getting triggered.
I agree. But speaking of getting triggered, my next question is when it comes to Sora for Smash, that is a topic that caused a lot of heated debates. I got into a lot of heated debates on Twitter with these like brainless Neanderthals who say that Sora cannot get into Smash Bros. Nah. So why do you think it was so hard for people to accept the fact that it is possible that Sora can get into Smash?
Kingdom Hearts just has this reputation in communities where people don't like it. They don't understand it, so they don't like it. And I think so. For a lot of people, they would try to come up, use whatever mental gymnastics they wanted to come up with a reason why he couldn't be in there. And the biggest one was, well, he's a Disney character, and Donald and Goofy can't be in it, so he won't be in it, and stuff like that. But I think people just wanted to be haters. You know what I mean? Like that anytime, Kingdom Hearts gets pushed into like the greater like conversation on the internet, especially on X or Twitter, like people just tend to have negative reactions to it. And so I think that's all it was. Is just people that don't like the game series not wanting Sora in there because they don't like it.
It's got loud haters.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just like the haters are the people who don't understand the story. Like, why am I seeing Cloud and Sephiroth fight and Donald Duck just walks right by? Like, what is going on? Pretty much.
Right. And they're like, oh, it's like stupid, but that's kind of the point.
But then they like,
Like,
play Smash Bros. And it's like,
Kingdom Hearts fans are so like concerned with people like making fun of Kingdom Hearts or saying it's stupid. Kingdom Hearts is stupid.
It
But
is.
That's what's so great about
Exactly,
it. Like,
yeah.
mhm.
That's what we like about it. Not that it's like, whatever other reason you might have.
the most
like,
serious story of all
exactly.
time, the
And so
greatest,
people are
the
think
greatest.
they're dunking on it by going, "Look at how stupid this looks," and I'm like, "Look at how stupid this looks," right? So I think once people become more comfortable with that, it will be a lot easier for Kingdom Hearts fans because I think they spend so much time trying to defend it to people like that it's like just embrace it, embrace what it is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the let him cook meme being super popular with Woody. It's like a perfect analogy of like the type of vibe that Kingdom Hearts has, right? Where it's
Right.
like you have Woody like straight up just like roasting some anime character, you know?
I
Like,
love that. Yeah, that was my favorite part. Yeah. So going back to Smash Bros, if you could pick one character to appear in the next Smash Bros games, who would it be and why?
I'm trying to think of like a really crazy answer because I think that's like having some video game character that just doesn't make sense is like the most interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, I'm drawing a blank on it. Like, I always like when it's a character that has a long history because like Sakurai's it's like very important to him to like explore that history. So if it was someone really stupid like Duke Nukem, you know, who's like been in gaming for a long time and was like a very like important part of gaming for a small period of time in the 90s and then hasn't been, I think that would be kind of cool. And also like just out there and to see how they would handle the more grotesque and like inappropriate parts of
Yeah.
would be pretty interesting. I don't think it would ever happen, but that'll be my answer. I'm
How about
satisfied
Crash
with that answer.
Bandicoot?
I mean, Crash makes sense, right? Like
Yeah.
he's another mascot, you know, that should probably be in the game already. Rayman,
Yeah.
you know, guys like that make sense in Smash a lot. You know, like Banjo was another one like that. It's like, why isn't Banjo in? Well, Banjo should be. You know. I'm also a sucker for Geno. So, all the Geno for Smash people, I was working with. I wanted to
hell yeah. Yeah, that'd be so sick if Gino was in.
I think he has a better. I mean, if they make another Smash game, he has a better chance now that they made the remake.
Oh, another Smash
yeah.
game is totally coming. Whenever the
Yeah.
next Switch comes out, they'll probably just pour Ultimate and do Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe or something, basically.
Yeah, fix the online and throw like 5 more characters in. I'll buy it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
How about you, Jay?
Yeah. Take my money again, bro, for the exact same game plus 5 characters, bro. Whatever. I want my boy Isaac from Golden Sun, dude.
Oh, okay.
He got done dirty. I love that game. I need to replay that. But I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, he's another sword character or whatever. But like he has more to him, you know? Like
Yeah.
I think he'd be cool, and the Golden Sun music is so freaking good. Like I just want more of that in Smash Bros as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I really liked about the new one, where like you can like change the like music that pops up for each one, and like
Yeah.
people like modding it like crazy too is really cool.
For me, if I could pick one character, it would be Kratos, pretty much, because
That'd be sick.
that honestly, Sora was my number one pick. But if they somehow, because in my brain, Nintendo and Sony don't really get along, so I don't really see that ever happening. But if that does happen, oh my God, I'll go ballistic. But that's my number one pick. So, yeah.
I just have one more because I feel like it's like I think it could realistically happen and also be super cool. It'd be like Miles Morales. Like
Oh
if
yes.
if like the new Spider-Man movie comes out and then that would be so freaking sick, dude.
I can see that. I can see Spider-Man and Smash Bros. Would be insane. And Philbo from Bugsnax for Oblivion there. So that's a good thing too. Big
He
Bugsnax.
is so Bugsnax coded.
Bugsnax is the greatest game ever, and that is a fact. Yes, it is. So speaking of Sora, and now let's get to a topic we've all been waiting to talk about. Let's talk about Kingdom motherfucking Hearts, shall we?
Oh yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I want to know, I want to know, how did you both discover Kingdom Hearts? And what was your initial thought when you saw it for the very first time?
So, I think I got to take this one because
Yeah.
I think Jason probably discovered it from me. But I was in high school and I saw the commercial with the Simple and Clean Planet B remix, the commercial that everybody loves. But I didn't get to play it, and then I had a couple of friends over to like stay the night and like play video games and teenage boy stuff. And one of my friends had it, and he brought it over. And Addison, who was originally on the one of the hosts of the podcast with me and Jay, was there too because we've been friends since middle school.
Nice.
And we basically played through the majority of the game in one night, to the point where we were like falling asleep during gummy missions and. And I immediately, the moment I had enough like allowance money to go get the game, I went out and got it at that point. And
Nice.
I remember, I think I've told this story before, but when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, because this is how old I am, I was out of high school, and I used to play a lot of basketball at that point. We'd go to like the park every night, basically, and play basketball, and I went to play basketball, and Addison had gotten the game. But for some reason, he had played all night, and then I convinced him to come play basketball. And we played like 2 games of pickup basketball, and when he hit the game-winning shot and sprinted off the court to the parking lot where his car was. And I was like, where are you going? He goes, man, I got to go play more Kingdom Hearts 2.
Nice.
So he hit the game winner,
Nice.
sprinted off the court, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna
I'm outie.
I guess I'm gonna go buy Kingdom Hearts 2. So then I went to Best Buy, and they had this big display for it, and I bought it and went home and played it. So, but yeah, and I fell off a little bit in the middle there because of the way the games were like distributed. Like I didn't have a 3DS at the time, and,
Yeah.
or whatever BBS was on PSP. Is that right? But
Yeah.
I fell off for a time. But then when me and Jay, when they were releasing them on PS3 and PS4 as like a package, I got heavily back in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say like where I got into it, because like I grew up playing, and I remember liking Kingdom Hearts 1, but it didn't like super grab me, Like I have nostalgia for it for sure,
Yeah.
but I wasn't like, this is my favorite freaking game. Like if you asked me back then, it was probably like Battlefront 2 or something back then, right? And then like I got into 2, and 2 really grabbed me because you get those random like anime moments.
Oh yeah.
Like in it. And you're like, wait, what was that? And then it's like back to Disney for a while, and then so you're like, you're having a good time with the Disney, but it's like there's something more here. So you keep digging, and then you get to the end game in KH2, and you're just like, what the
hell?
heck is going on? And you get the secret movies and stuff, and then by then, because I played 2 and like got really into 2 kind of late, so like there was already like BBS was out and 358 was out. And so I had all this like backlog of like cutscenes and stuff to watch, and I watched them probably so freaking out of order because it's like old YouTube, like, and it's like terrible quality. Half the videos are somebody recording it on like an old camcorder, recording their like PSP screen.
Yeah.
Like just the glare is like covering part of the screen. It's scuffed, but I was just so enamored, like going through. Like, oh, who is this character? Like seeing Shion for the first time, and really just then eventually, you got like the OG KH tubers coming through, making videos, theory videos, and I remember getting super into those, and then being like, yo, what is Union Cross, bro? But shout out to Damo for saving me from having to play that game.
Our Lord and Savior Damo.
Shout out to a demo.
Yeah,
Yep.
so yeah, that's how I got into it, really. It was just like finding those moments where it seemed like there was a little bit more than just like the happy-go-lucky Disney stuff,
Now, I'm not sure if this was a bit you were doing, Jay, or something, or if you actually believe this, but I in one of your videos, you said that KH2 is like the worst Kingdom Hearts game ever made. Like, can you elaborate
that's a
more
bit.
on that, please?
That is,
Well,
That's
no,
100% a
I
bit.
think I think that's my bit, isn't it?
yeah, wait, yeah, no, it's a clip. Yeah, you
Oh,
were like,
my
KH2
bad,
is
my
the worst
bad.
game ever made.
No, there's a clip
Yeah, no.
where I started playing KH3 on Crit, and I was dying to the dark side, the like tutorial dark side,
Yeah.
and I was getting frustrated because it's tough. Most people die to it.
Yeah.
It's a big
Like,
hump because you have nothing.
And-
Yeah.
Right. And Jay like kind of does this thing where he goes, "Are you sure you don't want to play KH2?" Because we had originally talked about playing KH2 crit, and out of anger, I said, "No, I don't want to fucking play KH2. KH2 is the worst fucking game in the series." And someone clipped it.
Yeah.
And it's become, I mean, that was very early on in our Twitch thing, and so that's become kind of a clip that people play all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think KH2 is the worst game in the series.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
recorded.
think it's the best, though. So
I agree. I agree.
All those KH2 truthers out there, you know, it's really good, but
It depends on the day for me. It might be the best on some days
Yeah.
for me.
I'm a big KH3 guy. I think KH3
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
But-
Me too.
I'm also a BBS simp too, so it's like I don't know.
I
Yeah.
love Birth
It-
by
it
Sleep. Love it.
changes- It changes by the day.
Yeah. Well, that's my next question is what was that like 10+ year wait for you both? You finished KH2. What was waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 like for you? For me, it was grueling and agonizing. So what was that long ass wait for both of you?
So for me, it actually didn't feel like that long because, like I said, I kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah.
I hadn't played, you know, and so when Jason and I started doing YouTube, you know, we played through 1 and we played through 2, and then, you know, we played through BBS for the first time, 358 for the first time, DDD for the first time, and so by the time we started the podcast, I mean, KH3 was a couple weeks away. And so I do remember like seeing when they dropped like the Toy Story trailer. And so I was in like the hype at that moment, but it was really only a couple years for me because you know, like I said, when I fell off, Kingdom Hearts 3 was the farthest thing from my brain. I knew it had been announced. I remember seeing like the trailer
Yeah.
where he gets on the Wave of Heartless, but I wasn't like, my fandom wasn't as huge as it is now. And so I wasn't like sitting there. If anything, I was sitting there going, "Where's Versus 13?" That's what I was sitting there wondering where that game was, right? And, you know what happened there,
Yeah.
so. Jay, how was your wait?
I remember back then you being like, "Where's 13?" And then me not caring about Final Fantasy going, "Yeah, where's 13?" So then he can finish 3 because Nomura was working on 13.
Right.
So I was like, get this shit Final Fantasy out of the way so you can work on real games like KH3. No, but I remember because I got into it a little bit late, and then I like caught up on everything through YouTube videos and stuff. And then I remember like, you know, every, you know, year or so, somebody comes out with some clickbait ass YouTube video talking about more news, or there's gonna be more news at this award show or that award, and then they're like, never was. So I just kept getting baited every once in a while, get sucked in by the YouTube algorithm. So that wasn't fun. And then it did feel really like quick after we like went through and played all the games. Like it felt like a really good, like, you know, we played through 1, 2, all
We
that.
timed
Like
it well, for sure.
yeah, it just so happened to work out really good
Nice.
timing, and then doing the podcast leading up to it too was really fun. And so like the last like year, 2 years wasn't too bad. Cause then we had like, you know, oh, we're gonna get the platinum trophies and stuff and streaming it and stuff like that. So we had like a lot of like content because it's like stuff we had already done, or I had done a lot of it already before, but like doing it on stream, getting the platinums was just really, really fun, and made it so that the last 2 years, like, yeah, really wasn't bad at all, honestly.
Yeah. Now, did you both avoid the trailers because it got to a point where them trailers that they were showing way too much, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
I think in hindsight, yeah, but I don't know. I can enjoy it. I really like when they drop the stuff like Dark Aqua in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, I would not want that to not be there. Some people are mad that it's there. I think it's cool because when I'm playing, I'm not like thinking about the trailer the entire time, right? Like I'm not like, oh, is this when Dark Aqua shows up? Is this when Dark Aqua shows up? Like I just am, I don't know. I'm good at just being in the moment for it, I guess. Like I love that the trailers make it so you can talk with your friends for hours about what you think it could be, and then like watching tons like 100 hours worth of YouTube videos, people theorizing about it too. So I wouldn't change it at all. I like it. I don't care.
All right. Nice.
And I think like, and I get it. People don't want to be spoiled, but I think spoiler culture is pretty like tough right now, where people are so worried about it. And it's like, yes, it showed a bunch of stuff from the Keyblade Graveyard, but it's completely out of context, and it's not going to like matter. Like that, it's not, that that.
I think Roxas is like the only one that's like, you could have maybe left that out, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's pretty obvious that like, that's what's gonna happen based on like blank points and stuff. Where it's like, oh, we need to get all the old Keyblade wielders back. But that's like the only one where I feel like that's some people have a little bit more validity in that criticism for showing Roxas, because like he's gonna be there in the flesh, like straight up.
Also, Battlecry123, thank you for giving that sub to Folsey. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, shout out Carson.
Thank you very much. So my next question is, so Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, the world is happy, it's happy now about it, but unfortunately, vanilla Kingdom Hearts 3 got a lot of hate. It severely split the community, I feel. So why do you think, like, some people loved it and some people straight up hated it? Why did it split the community, in your opinion?
I don't know that you want to hear me talk about this, Jay.
I mean, if you want to give us the Cliff Notes version.
I think it's like a couple things, right? I think there's people who like they genuinely like thought it should have been over years ago or some shit, right? Like with 2, it should have ended with 2 or something. And so like those people were never gonna give it a chance. But then I do think there's people who, like, because they felt like they knew everything that was gonna happen, so therefore it was bad. Like I don't know, and I think that's like pretty ridiculous for them to say that too. Where it's like, oh, because we know where all the Disney worlds and because we've seen all these endgame cutscenes, like it was just a letdown. They didn't have anything new or whatever.
Okay. Here's what I'll say.
And then also the ending, like people don't like.
Here's what I'll say. People really liked Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yes.
That's fair to say, right? And then since Kingdom Hearts 2, there have been other games.
Yes.
There's been Recoded. There's been BBS. There's been 358. There's been DDD. And the people that liked KH2 didn't necessarily like these games.
Yes.
Right? Right? So then we get to KH3, and KH3 kind of takes a little bit from all of these games, KH2 included.
Yeah.
It kind of takes a bunch of different things and puts them together. But the people that don't like KH3 are the same people that have not liked a Kingdom Hearts game since Kingdom Hearts 2.
That's very true. I've never thought of it that way. That's a very nice observation.
And to me, you don't like Kingdom Hearts anymore. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. That's okay.
You can just let it go. Yeah.
But you don't need to
wink, wink.
go into like people's chats or go on to X or go on whatever and be like, what a dog shit game. It's just not for you anymore. Because saying it's a bad game is just you're being intellectually dishonest. Saying it's a bad game. You can say you don't enjoy it, but to say it's not a well-crafted game is just wrong. Like they put a lot of work into this.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Right. It's not like Forspoken. It's not like you know what I mean.
It's not like Cyberpunk at launch.
Yeah.
It's not like that King Kong game that everybody has on Twitter. Like it's not like a poorly made game. You just didn't like it, and that's okay. But you can't sit there and say it's a bad game. You can say I didn't like this game, but you really or this isn't Kingdom Hearts, which is something I hear a lot. This isn't what I want Kingdom Hearts to be. Kingdom Hearts has not been what you wanted since 2006.
That's true.
And some people that's a really hard pill for them to swallow.
That is like the best answer ever, man. That is a great analogy, great everything. I like that because basically what it comes down to is that people were expecting Kingdom Hearts 2, but they got Kingdom Hearts 3, basically, the long and short of it.
There's some people, yeah. Also, I think some people wanted it to be over with 3 as well.
Yeah.
And it's clearly not.
Oh, no, they're going to keep going, yeah.
Yeah, I think some people just wanted it to be over.
It's like, for me, when I played 3, I enjoyed it. It was a good game. I had a lot of issues with it, but Remind literally fixed every single issue that I had. And because of that, Remind is now my favorite game in the series, because it was just that good. I loved it that much, yeah.
Remind's incredible. It really is. And it's this kind of the same thing that Final Mix did for KH2, right?
Yeah.
Like, it made a lot
Compare
of
OG2. Yeah, it's like a little bit like at the time it was like recency bias. It's like, bro, if you compare OG2 to OG3, like
They're similar.
it's not even close. Yeah, like it's not even like uh everyone always just thinks of Final Mix because Final Mix had been out for so freaking long.
Yeah.
Right.
And apparently, like, not everyone liked Vanilla Cage 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was just back then the internet wasn't the juggernaut that it is now.
Yeah.
And so like people's opinions weren't as loudspeakered as they are now. Like you don't have like,
Yeah.
a bunch of you have like hundreds of ways that you can get your opinion out there now.
Yeah.
Where before you could go to like
And
the
anyone
text
could do it
message
now,
boards
too.
or
Anyone.
whatever,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, moving away from 3, when do you both think Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming out? And if you could pick one Disney World to appear in Kingdom Hearts 4, what would it be and why?
I think it's coming out 2024, late 2024.
Okay.
Okay, so it's gonna come out late 2024, or it's gonna be announced
Yes.
for late 2024,
Yes.
and they're gonna do the same thing they did with 3, where they delay it by a month and it comes out in January 2025.
Yeah.
I just think that's like kind of their thing. That's what I think. Also, for a world I want in there, I really think that Moana would be cool. And I think
Yes.
that's
Everyone wants
pretty good.
Moana.
Yeah, it's just a no-brainer. You know, it's a
Yeah.
layup. I picked the easy.
She's
answer
on an
for sure.
island, for God's sakes.
Right. You cast
True.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson in his role, you're good. You know. What about you, Jay?
I think it's gonna come out in 2025.
Okay.
Like, especially since we didn't hear anything about 4 since the trailer. Like, if there was something we had seen like this season, I'd feel more comfortable saying
So-
2024. But
I-
it
I
just
agree
makes me
with you,
feel
Jay.
like 2025.
I
At this
agree with
point.
you, Jay, but here's why I think that's okay. Is because Square's done this thing recently where their big games they only talk about one at a time.
Yeah.
That's
like
true.
They were not really talking about Rebirth when 16 wasn't out.
Yeah.
Once Rebirth
That's
comes
smart.
out, I think we'll hear more about Kingdom Hearts.
I was just about to say that. Because that's what I agree with. I wish I cannot wait for that game. I'm so hyped for Rebirth.
If we don't hear about Cage 4 like immediately after, I don't think it's till 2025.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so speaking of now I want to talk
Yeah.
about Reconnect. We're still recovering from all that. We
still
we
not
all
the same.
still wish we could rewind time back to Reconnect. But yeah, so how did you both, because if y'all don't know, these two lovely gentlemen got to host the award show at Reconnect. That is amazing. So like, how did you both get involved with that? Like, tell us the process when you first got in, like, contacted to rehearsal to the show. Tell us the whole process.
So, when they announced Reconnect, I think we pretty much immediately jumped on, getting tickets and booking flights because we were really bummed we missed out on KH20.
Yeah.
We just couldn't make it work during that time of the year. But this was in September. I was like, we can make that work. It'll be a lot of fun. Texas, everything. And shortly after, we, Mr. Cage Guide, shout out to Cage Guides, reached out to us and said, hey, we have this idea. We're going to do the Million Dreams Awards again, but we want you guys to kind of be like the master of ceremonies. How do you feel about that? So that's kind of where that started. And from there, he Guides is like the coolest guy because
He is.
he knew that would be something we would be good at. I don't know how he knew that, but he just knew that we would.
There's
and
those
he
people who know how to get the best out of people, and that's Guides for sure.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to do the best for Guides.
He didn't push us in any specific direction other than like, hey, this is like, you guys are just going to kind of like announce the people that come announce the winners, right? And you can write your own stuff. We just want to see it before it goes out. And so he didn't really like push us in one way or the other, which I appreciated because it was a lot of fun coming up with the bits in between each award. It was a really cool like writing exercise for like me. And it was, and then performing it itself was like an incredible thing because that was maybe if it wasn't for another event that I had to run that weekend, it was probably the most nerve-wracking thing for me ever. I was very nervous that all our jokes were gonna bomb and people were gonna boo us, throw tomatoes at us, or whatever people do when someone sucks. So, but no, I can't. I have nothing to say but good things about Mr. and Mrs. Guides and how they ran that and how they supported us and didn't support us in certain times when we didn't need it. And
they really let us cook. And like thinking about like if I was gonna run it, like they just had a lot of faith in us. And if I was running it, I would have been scared to give as much like hands-off approach to the MDA as they did. And they just really, really trusted us, and so we're really thankful.
So did y'all get much time to like rehearse and stuff?
We didn't rehearse anything.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive. Because
We wrote the script and like talked about it, and like
we in the hotel
maybe like would
room
half act out
before-
what we wanted to do.
I had an iPad where I had typed out the script for everything.
To run
and
a
we just
show,
kind
yeah.
of went through it. We didn't
Yeah.
rehearse it where we were like saying the lines. It wasn't like a table read, but we just kind of, okay, this, then this, then this, then this. And then in between, when we went to the side, in between each thing, we would look at the script and go, okay, oh, it's this bit now. And then we'd go do it.
okay.
And so, yeah, we didn't, we didn't really, we don't.
It was just a one and done.
We're not guys that have like a plan typically. we're not very organized. So, luckily, when we were lost, we could just say yeah, and then it would work out. So
That's not because you
there's so
definitely
much
fooled
support.
me.
yeah, there was definitely one part where we fucked up really bad. I fucked up really bad, and people were like, man, that bit
It was
where
like
you...
situational. Like it wasn't really our fault, but like
What happened?
Yeah, no, but so Uprising Grand, incredibly talented.
We love
Super
you,
nice
brother.
also.
Love you, brother. Love you,
and
brother.
just the nicest dude, by the way.
So
Like,
talented. So talented.
And so he performed 3 different times throughout the MDAs. And the first time, Guides came up to us and he said, and he's doing a million things, and he said, hey,
Yeah.
he's going to do 2 songs and he's going to bow in between. So don't go up there until he bows the second time or something like that, right? It was something like that. And we said, okay. So then he does that, we do that right. And he's like, when you go up there, just say, hey, we'll be right back.
So they can
then
transition everything.
The second time he performs, Guides doesn't say anything to us. So we assumed it was the same deal. So he does his 2 songs. He didn't bow for the first song, bowed for the second song. So we run up there and we're like, hey, man, that was Uprising Grand. We'll be right back. And he's like, I have 2 more songs to play.
So then I turned the mic and I'm like, we fucked up, bro.
And then I had my hands on his shoulders.
nope out. I kind of nope out.
He's like, I have 2 more songs to play. and I go, oh, we fucked up. And he goes, yeah.
And
I
you
go,
can like kind of hear it on the mic too.
yeah. I go, just kidding, guys. He's got 2 more songs. Let's go. And I run off stage. And in that moment, I was so like absolutely devastated and embarrassed. I was just like, man, we fucked up so hard. That's so embarrassing. I was sweating. I was just like, oh. And then
We were
people
just
after the show
sweating
were
because
like,
we were on our feet in suits for hours. Yeah.
after the show, people were like, yo, that bit with Uprising was really funny. And I'm like, what are you talking
They
about?
don't know.
Yeah, the
They
bit
don't
where you
know.
interrupted him. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was super funny. You're right. We planned that. No, we just fucked up. Well, and like it wasn't even we fucked up. It's just like Guides didn't tell us. And
Situationally.
yeah, it was situational.
Yeah.
Like no one was wrong, but it just happened that way, right?
Yeah.
But people were like, oh, I didn't even know that. Tara was like, I didn't even know that wasn't a bit. I'm like, what was the dumbest
That's
bit ever. Why
how
would
good
that
of
be a
an
bit?
actor you both are. Just saying. That's how good the acting is.
I've learned that if you just pretend like you know what you're doing, people usually assume you do, even when you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just pretend like you know what you're doing. Oh, yeah, we were just kidding. 2 more songs. You just pretend. You walk into a place like you own it. And people, a lot of times, just assume you do.
Yeah.
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 So like, I'm so glad y'all got to host because you walked in that auditorium as content creators, but you left as award-winning content creators. So my question is, what was? Yup, there we go. There we go. Display that with pride.
I feel like it's really
The glare
Very glare.
is rough.
it's shining because that's how powerful
It's
of an award it is.
it's a fake one. Yeah.
It's the power of the friendship via the Apapu fruit. But yeah, so like,
Exactly.
what was that like for you both? I mean, was that a surprise? You had no idea you were going to win, and like when you accept your award and stuff, what was going through your mind in that moment with the whole audience cheering you on and stuff?
When Cheney, shout out to Cheney, announced
Yes.
that we won, I had I kind of have some regret because I wish I would have looked at the crowd, but I just like tunnel visioned for the stage because it's like, oh my God, we won because we did not. I know people might say we're full of shit or whatever, but we had no idea we were gonna win. Like, I thought for sure we were like. I thought we were like third or fourth in the running. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't think we had any chance of winning. And so when we did, I was like, we have to give a speech now. And so like, and I was like, I remember thinking we're behind Jason, and I remember thinking, don't trip over the stairs. Like, because we were walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, what am I going to say? What are we going to say? Because I was ready to go hug Landy because Landy was right there. And I thought Landy was going to
Yeah.
win for sure.
Yeah, literally.
Because his
I was
podcast-
preparing to like turn to the right and hug him type shit,
Right.
you know?
And then they were like us, and I know the crowd was loud. I don't remember what they looked like. I didn't, I know we have a buddy, shout outs to Fabio the Iguana. He jumped in the air and elbowed our other buddy Swarls in the head on accident because they were both so hype. But Swarls, sat down and then got right back up and was cheering, So I know the reaction.
Gets back up.
I know the reaction was insane. I just wish I would have saw it, like, cause but yeah, I remember just going, I don't know what to even, I hugged Cheney and I love Cheney. He's a fellow Michigander like we are, and so we're all pretty close with him. But it was just it was surreal, man. I still don't necessarily like, part of our bit and part of our vibe is to like be braggadocious and go, well, yeah, we're the longest running. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're award winning. But like, part of me is still like, I cannot believe we won that award. Because it's just, it's very validating and it's very, I really think we should have won it the year before. like full disclosure, like I think that's when we were doing our best work. And this year has been like really tough because my job's gotten so much more intense for me and stuff, and I don't think
And the
we're doing our-
drought, yeah.
I don't and it's tougher to make because
Partially.
there's not a lot of Kingdom Hearts news and so I really was when I say like, oh, we should have won last year, I feel like we should have won last year, but that's tongue in cheek, but it's just surreal, and in that moment I just felt so grateful and honored and
So proud of you. So proud, buddy.
thank you. I'm proud of my brother too. You know what I mean? Because
You too, Jay.
Thank you.
It's still crazy to me.
How about you, Jay? What was going through your head at that moment?
Okay, so on the ballot, we were listed as Spaghetti Bros.
Yeah.
Every other name on the ballot was, or at least at first when it was announced, right? I think it might have got fixed later, but we were not listed as the Ansem Report. We were listed as Super Spaghetti Bros.
Yeah.
Right? So when he started saying I'm thinking the Landy Lodge, right? Or the State of the Heart. Like they literally both start with the, right? And so I'm not listening for the Ansem Report.
Right.
And so when I hear I'm like turning, because we were over on the far left side of the stage, and all of the award hosts or I guess
Presenters.
award presenters, were sitting in the front two rows, like right in front of us, right? And so we were joking around with Landy and them all over and over. And so I'm like ready to turn to Landy. So I'm already looking at the crowd right there. And then the Ansem Report podcast. And then most of our homies were behind them. So on that side. And so like the whole back half of like like half of the
Yeah.
crowd just jumped up. Yeah, that was so cool. And then I was just like I look over at Mike and I'm just like, no way this just happened, dude. And so yeah, I would go up on the stage and I had literally nothing prepared. I probably thought about it for 5 seconds one time and then was like, don't get your hopes up, bro. Like my internal monologue. Just live in the moment if it happens, and yeah. So
Well, congratulations
Thankfully-
again to the both of you.
Thank you,
Massive
thank you.
congrats to both of you. You deserve it tenfold. Yes, yeah. So, going back to Reconnect, what were you? Because it was my first time going, like you both. What was Reconnect
Same,
like for
yeah.
you both as a whole? Like, what are some things you liked and some things you would change for the next event if they have one?
So, we just got done talking about how meaningful that award was. Reconnect was tenfold that for me.
Yes.
Just the most incredible weekend with some of my favorite people in the world. Getting just to hang out. I got back to like my normal life. And like I was so I felt so loved at Reconnect that I got back to my normal life, and I was like, man, people don't really like me very much, huh? Like in comparison, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, every room I went to, everybody was like, hey, or yeah, or whatever, and like then I go home and then I'm like, I go to work and people are like, oh, this guy, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh shit, but Reconnect itself was perfect. I had the time of my life. The only thing two things I would change. We were kind of known as the loud group of people there, as I'm sure that
we were lied to, bro. We were set up, bro.
we were set up, and we told that story on the podcast. But I will say, I would like an area to just like hang out that we're not gonna like bother people.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
there's not stuff going on, and I don't know if that exists, but that would be cool. And then the other thing I would change is that for it to be longer, because
Yes, please. Guys or Mrs. Guys, if you're watching, we love you to death. Please do 4 days next year, please, because 3 days
But
goes
here's
by
the thing.
way too fast.
Here's the thing. I'm not here. I know, like, I can't imagine how hard that event was to pull off.
Seriously.
And so I'm not here to like tell them you have to make it longer,
Absolutely
or
not,
you have to
yeah.
do it again.
Completely,
or
yeah.
you
Completely, yeah.
The fact that it happened one time, if that's the only time Reconnect happens, it was, we ended on a high note, and it was a beautiful experience. So
Yeah.
I commend that team for
Massive.
it's not just Guides and Mrs. Guides. It's a ton of people on that team who were just all really nice and really cool, and it probably should have been a bigger team for the amount of work they were doing, but it was just an incredible event.
Yeah. Like Twilly was clocked in like every day, just behind there doing tons of screen transitions, guides as well. I remember after Reconnect was like officially over, it was like that night, seeing him with a big old bottle like champagne or something in his hand. I was like, thank God this man has a drink, because if anybody deserves one. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything other than just I wish it was longer. I definitely agree with the whole just feeling super loved. I'm like a introvert, but I'm kind of extroverted. So like when I go hang out with my friends, I'll feel like a bit of stress going to go hang out, even if it's like something I want to do, 100%.
Right,
like
right.
Yeah.
I will have some sort of stress to it, and it's a bit draining. But like there, it didn't matter, dude. Like I was always trying to be with the homies, meeting new people, just literally just sitting around like eating. Like it's just so fun, just feeling so
Seriously.
loved. And that also went into the MDAs, where it was like I felt so confident and comfortable like being on the stage when I think most people wouldn't. Especially considering, we didn't practice anything, like we were just, kind of just doing it.
Yeah.
and there was just so much love and support that it's like you just can't fail.
Yeah.
Like even if you mess up a line, it's not a big deal. Like you just literally can't fail.
Right.
And that was just the vibe of all of it. Not just our homies. Yeah. Not just our homies, but even just people I didn't know, people I just met, all the stuff. Like there was just such a safe, comfortable, accepting vibe there from like everybody.
Everyone got along. Like it is, granted we're all Kingdom Hearts fans, but to get almost 200 people in one room, no drama, no nothing, everyone got along, and that was the absolute best part. And that's how we met, and that's why we're here now. So shout outs again to K2Cage guys, love you brother, and Mrs. guys, the whole team. Love you all to death. So the last question I have is, what are your, because we have a lot of your members and friends and viewers watching us right now, what are some of the future content they can look forward to from you two?
Should I announce it, Jay?
Do it.
I'll just say the date. I won't say what we're doing, but I'll say what it is in the date.
People could maybe guess based on the dates.
People could maybe guess. So we have 2 big events we do on stream a year. We have a charity stream in May.
Nice.
That we've done for 4 years now, 3 years, where we support Able Gamers, the Able Gamers.
This will be.
I love Able Gamers.
Yeah. I just think that's so cool what they do. And I just imagine myself going like, oh, if I wasn't able to play the games I love, how devastated I would be. And they allow people who can't do that to do that. And so that's really important to me. But the other thing we do is we do a subathon in December, and we did our first one last year. And so we are doing a subathon again this year in December, and the official start date of it is I have to look at the calendar, is Monday, December 18th. So
nice.
We're going to do a subathon again. We did 120 hours last year. If we meet the goals, we'll do 120 hours again. We're not going to announce what game we're playing yet, because we typically have a centralized game that we play through, and then we do other stuff around it. We'll announce that soon, but just save the date. If you want to come hang out for the subathon, we'll be going starting on the 20th. We'll be going, or the 18th.
For
we'll be going
however long
120
we
hours
go.
straight.
Yeah.
120 hours straight?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Good
Good luck
last
to
year.
you.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, buddy.
We do shifts.
Yeah, I'll go to sleep and he'll stay up, and vice versa, and So that, again, another reason why we have kind of an OP strat as Twitch streamers, because we do everything together. So
nice,
it's gonna be a blast.
Brother,
come check it out.
I love that. Yeah, you heard it here first on Motown Downtown. So
An exclusive.
Exclusive, yes, and that's why I love y'all to death. So we're gonna wrap things up now with the fan favorite section of the show called Top 10 Questions on Motown Downtown.
Top 10 questions. You got the questions. Top 10 questions. I got the answers. Top 10 questions. Better get your answers ready.
Where I'm going to ask my guests 10 questions courtesy of Inside the Actors Studio. So, Spaghetti Bros, are you ready?
Before we start, I just want to say, Mo, you're everything you do with the show is incredible. The intro, that little top 10 questions thing that played, like you have a very impressive show, and
thank you.
You're giving me show envy. I'm a little envious.
It's 3 seasons, buddy. Show. 3 seasons of doing this, so we just learn and grow, right? So yeah, it's first.
Awesome. But yes, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Hell yeah! So the first question is, what is your favorite word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gotta be yeah.
Yeah. What is your least favorite word?
Moist. I don't like the word moist. It makes me uncomfortable.
That is probably the go-to word. You're like the 5th guest in a row that said that word. People just hate the word moist. They really do.
Moist. It's a adjective that really describes what it is. It's moist.
How about you, Jay?
I don't know. I don't like any words.
Jason has no hate for words.
Yeah.
All right, well we'll
likes
go
every
with
word equally.
no with no and
Moist.
and
I'll just say moist.
moist number 2. People hate the moist. Awesome
Keep the
sauce,
train
yeah.
rolling. Keep the
Yeah,
moist train rolling.
keep the moist train going. Yes. So, what sound or noise do you love?
Oh.
I really like the noise of like cicadas.
Really?
Like rhythmic. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I like the I had it and it just left my head. I like okay, this is a walk, but in the 50 Cent song Many Men,
Yeah.
there's a part where he's like, many men, and it has like a gun cock. And
Yeah.
It's just the most clean gun cock of all time.
Clock,
so I like that a lot.
Glock.
It's the most, it's incredible.
I like that.
I think about that. I don't even listen to that song anymore. I just think about that song way more than I should. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, what
Yeah.
sound or noise do you hate?
Yeah, and this is like basic, but like chalkboard scratching.
Yeah.
Even just chalkboard writing. I can't, like, I'm so glad we've gotten away from chalkboards as a society because they're terrible.
Yeah, it's a W. It's a W.
They're,
I'm gonna have to say like door creaking. Door creaking triggers me.
yeah.
It's like.
I can agree with that. So, what makes you happy?
Wow, the answer that popped in my head first is like fucking. I need to go to my therapist, but validation.
Nice.
Okay.
I think I need to go see my therapist, but that's validation.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like it makes me happy to like make other people happy.
Aw, that's the answer.
Yeah.
That's the answer. So, what makes you upset?
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, and again, this is another very specific answer. But I'll listen to like other podcasts, and I'll call them out. There's this IGN podcast called IGN Game Scoop that I like, and it's just they kind of just talk about like classic games and stuff, and they do a video game 20 questions at the end.
Yeah.
And when it's like a game that I really like, and that they get it, but then like they're misinformed about certain details about it, it drives me nuts. Like when they
Gotcha.
were like, yeah, I think it was Guitar Hero Green Day, and I'm like, no, it was Guitar Hero or it was Green Day Rock Band. Like that kind of stuff makes me irrationally angry, like for no reason. Like it's just like, why are you so mad? Who cares if you don't know about this?
Why you mad, bro?
Like, oh, I think Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria was a DLC song for Rock Band. No, it was on disc. Like that kind of stuff. Like I don't know why. Because I'm like, you're a professional podcast. How do you not know this? Like I don't know why that drives me nuts, but it does.
True. I'd say for me, just Twitter.
Oh,
Twitter in
bro,
general. Like
preach,
I just can't
preach.
use it, bro. Like Twitter, average Twitter user, dude, terrible
Preach.
people.
Preach. I can
Like,
wipe
if
it
I
off
go
the
to
map.
your Twitter and it says more than 1,000 tweets, bro, I don't care about your opinion, bro. You're terminally
Exactly.
online.
Exactly.
You're terminally online.
Wipe Twitter off the map, seriously. Do
That's why I
the
don't
world a
use it.
favor and delete Twitter.
I don't even
Or
use
X,
it.
I'm sorry, X.
Yeah, true.
So, Spaghetti Bros, what is your favorite curse word? I'm surprised you're thinking.
We know a lot.
There's some good ass curse words, you know.
We know a lot of curse words. I think I gotta go with fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of S tier.
Fuck's just good.
Yeah, everyone loves a good fuck.
True. I'd also accept shit.
That too. Shout out to cunt. That's a good name.
I was gonna say cunts too. but,
Everyone always.
I figured you. I
But to
figured
us, that's
you
a curse
would.
word, but if we're British, it's not a curse word. They just say that.
Or
It's like, "Oh, yeah,
Australian.
you're a limey
Yeah.
cunt, ain't you? You know, like they. Just say it. Like, it's like, what the hell?
I gotta say, man, doing the show for so long, cunt and moist are the two words I hear the most. It's so
Not-
crazy how often that word pops up.
Hopefully not in conjunction with each other. Like hopefully, hopefully separate.
Yeah, a moist cunt, yeah. Anyway, so, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I always had like a soft spot. I don't think I'm intelligent enough, but I've always had a soft spot for like game development.
Nice.
But I'm definitely not like the right kind of brain for it, like the mathematical kind of brain. I would have to be like a designer, but you can't just like be a designer, right? You have to know how to code. You have to, and so like I have a lot of like ideas that I think would make really cool video games, but I do not have. I'm just an ideas guy. I don't have like the know-how to like put it in. I don't have the discipline to learn the ability, but that would be cool, I think, if I could figure that out.
I think like music performance would be cool.
All
I
right.
used to
Yeah,
do
that's
that like
another
when I
one
was
for me.
younger. When I was younger, like in high school, like that was really fun doing that. I did a little bit after, like I'd go to like old folks' home, play some piano, sing for them and stuff, and that was always just really fun.
Nice.
I've always really liked music, so that would be really awesome.
Nice. Awesome sauce. So, what profession would you not like to attempt?
A politician. That sounds awful.
That's a good answer.
That sounds awful.
I don't despite the fact that we tend to wing a lot of things, not in spite of that. I don't think I'd want to be any kind of like important surgeon.
Oh yeah.
I think people would die, like hands down.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
And
It's-
not because like, oh, you couldn't do anything, but like they would die because I fucked up. Like,
Exactly.
So
Like, I never want a job where someone's life depends on me. Hell no.
right.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
No, thank you. I would let a lot of people down for sure. Like,
So,
I don't know, dude. I think it's the I could land the plane in me that like I feel like I could do it. You know,
I could do the hard surgery.
if the pilots died or passed out, I could land that bitch. No
right, but you don't
training.
want to be a pilot for your job.
I think I don't know. I think you just get good. Like I don't know.
Get good, bro.
Yeah.
Too much pressure for me.
Yeah, so last question is, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh.
Besides,
The
yeah.
first time.
Yeah. I think I would like God to tell me that Kingdom Hearts 3 is the best Kingdom Hearts game.
Nice.
This is a loaded question. Like,
Yeah.
I was not expecting this. Yeah, I don't know.
Good job, my son, or something?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. That
Yeah.
would be validating. Yeah.
Nice.
as
Well,
long as he doesn't say moist cunt, I think we'll
Like you're him.
welcome,
bro.
you bloody
like-
cunt.
Right.
But let's get one more round of applause for the illustrious, legendary, my favorite guest ever, the Spaghetti Bros. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you so much. Well, before
Thanks
we
for
go,
having us, man.
how about some parting words for the audience?
Jay, you go first.
Dude, just shout out to all the homies. You know, so many people came out of their way to come support us, and yeah, we appreciate you, and you guys are the reason that we still do it, and yeah, shout out to y'all. Much love.
Love y'all to death.
Yeah, I would also like to say thank you to all the homies because the homies are the best, and you know, I have a pretty good life. I have a loving girlfriend and a house and a job that supports us, but it would be tough to think about my life without this community that we've built and the stuff that we do. Like I just don't know where I would be. You know what I mean? At 36, like it blows my mind sometimes that I'm as lucky as I am to.
We
Heck,
love you, buddy.
guys.
We love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Can we get one more shout out, please, for the Spaghetti Bros? Please go follow them on YouTube, on Twitch, any other socials y'all have. We're gonna go raid our friend Royal Aqua right now.
Oh, hell
so
yeah.
before we go, you both are in charge of the raid message. What is the raid message going to be? Besides, yeah.
What could what? I mean, I was gonna say, what else could it be, dude? What else could it
Okay,
be?
yeah,
gotta be
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's gotta
just
be
yeah. Everyone in chat say yeah.
Because the
already
alternative
know.
voice cunt, and I don't think we want to.
Oh
No,
yeah, oh
no.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
You do not say that. You will be banned.
Do
Yeah,
not,
don't say
yes. We
voice
love
cunt.
Royal Aqua.
Say
here.
yeah.
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 Yeah, so once again, thank you guys for coming out. Everyone be
Mo,
sure to
thank you so much,
give
man.
Royal Aqua a follow. I will be back on Monday for more Undertale, so stay tuned for that. And P5 Strikers on Tuesday. Love you both to death. Thanks for coming out. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.